Hey guys, Matt here, and today we are going to review one of the man, the myth, the legends, Grant Cardone's calls. I think Grant's awesome. I think he's very, very good at sales, very, very good at marketing, and I think I'll sort of give you my impressions of the call and what he's doing and how he's doing it, and yeah, see what we think. All right, cue the intro.
This is a guy on a phone call right now. He's having trouble. Okay, I'm going to intervene. I'm going to drop in, not discuss after. I'm going to drop in.
Okay, so why don't I do this? I'll give you a call at the end of the month, and then we can see where we're at and see if things change.
Let me have that call.
Oh,
hey,
wow, really?
This is Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
Hey, your business is selling, buddy.
Grant Cardone here. How you doing?
This ain't Grant Cardone.
More familiar
Yes, this is.
It's a good authority piece, just straight away. Obviously, everyone knows who Grant is, so that would be a surprise. It's a great pattern interrupt because that dude looks like he was going to do a follow-up, which is not very Cardone because you do not hang up on those people. You just keep going.
You know, if he sees a salesperson,
This is Grant Cardone, sir.
or a certain type of
Oh, my
fund,
God.
then
Grant Cardone,
a lot of
the
money.
Grant Cardone.
Send it right here. Put your hand. Why are you handing on your lawsuit?
I never thought I'd be talking to you on the phone. I'm always talking to your people.
On average, they're five.
Well,
How many people are working for you there, bro?
You know what? You're talking to me right now. Hey, and the reason I'm jumping on this call, Carlos, is because I heard Jared say something about he's going to call you back next month.
There's literally 300 videos.
Yeah, I just need some time to look at this thing, man. I want to finish out my month.
Okay, but let me ask you something. Why did you look at it in the first place?
Well, I have an interest in training, man. I have an interest in getting my people trained.
And why do you have an interest in getting your people trained?
It's $1,000 if you
Well,
want to
obviously, the better.
I mean, the level of certainty that he says everything is crazy, right? So, like, that certainty selling. My thoughts on Grant, and I'll let the call go, but is that, like, he's a phenomenal world-class salesperson who doesn't necessarily potentially know all the reasons why he's really good. Like, so in terms of like a master tactician, like even like, say, like compared to like a Jordan Belfort, right? I think Jordan Belfort is a master of like the tactics and strategy of sales, right? He's very, very good. There are people who are better, like say Jeremy Minor, I think would be better. But like those guys understand they're students of the game, like they're students of the craft, right? And there's a difference. Like Grant Cardone is like, he's smash. He's not like nuanced. He's not finesse. He's a fucking sledgehammer that comes in with such a high level of certainty. It's insane.
Trainer, or the more revenue it is, the less expensive.
Okay, so what's important to you? What problem are you trying to solve?
In that, we're going to include a ticket for.
But I want to get them to be able to handle all the situations that they encounter, man. I want to get my green peas better trained. I want to get my.
Just gotta say though, wearing a Hublot, no good, no good. I expected more from Grant. Expected more.
Veterans excited again. You know, I mean, I'm trying to survive like anybody, man. I'm trying to expand my
Good. And Carlos, excuse me, but do you feel like you're missing opportunities right now?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, we all do.
Good. So you didn't call Jared, you didn't show interest in our product because you wanted to save money. You called Jared because you want to increase your income by your revenue by having your people better handle situations, get your veterans experience, and get your newer salespeople trained.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, but I just don't want to spend as much on your product as what he's asking, too. I mean, can't you guys do better than that? $1,500 a month's pretty high, man.
Well, the $1,500 a month, that's your objection, is the cost? See, he's moved already.
Well, that's one of the objections, sure. You know,
Okay.
Yeah. So right. He's got him now into more of a buying state straight away, and now he's challenging him on the objection. So he's trying to define what's actually going on, like, because he didn't hear the whole call, so he doesn't really know what's happening. So they're doing some notes back and forth to try and give him some information, but he's kind of got to start from scratch here and figure out like what's actually happening, what's the objection, what's going on, because the guy's probably already been objection handled for 20-30 minutes, right? And this will be super interesting as to where he takes this, but he's already nudged him a bit.
I just kind of wrap my arms around that.
Yeah, well, let me explain to you that it's not $1,500 a month. It's $36,000.
Is that yourself?
plus the $4,000 startup fee, which means it's $40,000. I need you to think about a $40,000 decision, not a $1,500 a month decision. You're going to be on this program 2 years, not 1 month. If you're not going to be on it 2 years, you need to tell me that up front, because then we don't need to do it. It won't work anyway. Let me ask you a question, Carlos.
I will. As soon as he's
When's the last time your company spent $40,000?
Thank you.
We probably spend almost that a month on advertising.
Have you ever had it not work?
Well, you can't ever really put a finger on it, but I'm sure, it's working somehow. We want to keep spending the money.
Right. So look, you're going to spend $40,000 to train your people over 2 years, to handle every opportunity that comes to you, and you spend $480,000 in the same period of time on advertising.
That was good, right? So I love the way that he's done that, where he's changed it from like making it sound like a small investment, because a small investment gets small results, big investment gets big results, right? So it's the opposite of what a lot of people do, and especially in the B2B space that he's playing in, because he's talking about a team, you know what I mean? Then like $1,500, like what's it going to do for you? But he's trying to make it, and we actually use this a lot, especially Marco. Marco is actually one of their top sales guys, and they try and pinch him every single week. So good luck, guys. Keep going. But it's making it a bigger investment, which makes the person think about it more seriously, right? And then because you want to always talk about the big investment one, because you want to get the paid in full potentially, so you talk about the big investment that you can chunk it down. But a lot of salespeople just start off with the smallest possible investment because it's just a lazy way of doing it, and you think it's going to be easier. But in reality, it's actually better, because big decisions, big investments have big outcomes.
This represents basically 8% of your ad budget. Do you want to train your people? Do you want them motivated? If so, if you're going to do this sooner or later, I'm going to suggest, and that's why I'm getting on the call, take time out of the equation and let's do this. The reason I got on the call was to assure you that I'm here to support you and help you. Look, Carlos,
Tell him to fax me
I feel like that was a mistake. I think he should have let him just sit there and think about that. The massive authority play that he's doing right now is difficult to replicate, obviously, because he is Grant, right? I think he should have just shut up there and let Carlos think about it. Like, just really kind of sit in his thoughts, because for Grant Cardone to come on the call and then go, I'm doing this because I want you to know that I support you, I would have just been super quiet there instead of kind of jumping in, because I think that thought process is only going to be positive. But what the fuck do I know? He's Grant Cardone. He makes $1 billion and has a plane.
contract. Jesus Christ.
Carlos, I appreciate your business.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay, and also, hey,
I can't believe I got a chance to talk to you. That was dynamite, man.
Hey, let me-
Getting on the phone.
well, that's what everybody should be doing right now to make businesses work, so they survive and prosper. What's your home address? I want to send you something personal for me.
All right. So that's cool. That's obviously just a short one, and that's overcoming objections, so you don't get to see the discovery call and stuff like that. But I think it has some really good stuff. Like, a lot of people shit on Grant Cardone. I think a lot of people shit on him is because he has a fucking plane and makes loads of money, and people are generally jealous by nature. I love Grant Cardone. I think he's great. I think, like, I don't think he's a master tactician of sales. I really don't. I think he's a phenomenal salesperson and an incredible marketer and a 10 out of 10 business guy. I mean, you can't really argue the guy's creating a legacy and he's got a plane with 10x on the side, okay? Are there more nuanced ways to deal with things? And does the authority play that he used translate really, really well into teaching people how to get really good at sales when you can't be the guy, or you're not the guy who is the Grant? I don't think so, and that's why I use a different way of selling. But I think, like, the certainty and the element of, like, we are not getting off the phone until you buy is a great mentality to have until it's not, right? Because I don't think you should just do the whole, like, smash, 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 say whatever it is you need to get the sale, you know, mindset people. Like, I close at a very high percentage, and I dare say I would rival even the top people at Grant's company, selling in a very different manner. And I have an extraordinarily low refund rate, extraordinarily low pull-out rate, and that's not because of super strong contracts. It's just because I think we sell people in a way that's I guess, more nuanced and a little bit better. And I think that it has a really good effect. But in saying that, I think one of the things that a lot of people in sales are missing is they're just missing that ability to get in there and swing for the fences. Like the amount of calls that I review where it's like, mate, that guy totally could have bought. You just weren't willing to say the things that needed to be said to get there, you know? And there's the element of holding themselves back. Whereas those guys on that team working for that dude with that motivation, and Grant Cardone himself, he swings for the damn fences every single time, which is something that I can totally get behind. In Sales Sniper, like we have a thing that we do called Cardone Smash, right? And so I think it's important to have like multiple avenues for what you're selling. And so like there are times like I use a much more Jeremy Minor NEPQ kind of like way of selling, very question oriented, very, very low key, no pressure, more tension type stuff. But there are times when I just go, okay, crack the knuckles and hook into it and do this kind of selling. Super high certainty, bull in a china shop. Like this is what's going to happen. This is the way it's going to be, and smash. And some people need that. And I think if you can't do that, I think you're going to leave a lot of deals on the table. So I wanted to review one of Grant's calls. I'm also going to review one of Dan Locke's calls, and I'm also going to review one of Jordan Belfort's and one of Jeremy Minor's calls as well in a future video, who I think are kind of the big players in the sales game. And I'm sure there's a lot more out there. And there's anyone that's calls that you want me to review, make sure you chuck it down in the comment description below. But, you know, to sort of sum it up, I mean, you can't argue with Grant's results, and I think people only sort of say that he's not a great salesperson because people are just jealous. He's a better salesperson than you, okay? Yeah, I think that some of the elements of follow-up and relentlessness and all that kind of stuff is a good mentality to have for the most part. I think it can definitely go wrong and it can definitely go sideways. But I think in general, if you sort of go at it with a mentality where, like, you know, you hop on the call, it's going to end in a close. And that's the way it's going to be. You're going to get commitment out of somebody. I think that's a good thing. And the more nuanced and the better you get at being able to lead them there in, like, I think the right ways, the better. But I think we all need to have that little bit of fucking Cardone smash. All right, guys, I hope that was a helpful video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that kind of good stuff. And yeah, you have a good day.